I would like to give the floor to His Excellency Mr. Valentin Rybakov, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of Belarus. Excellency, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Belarus supports the conclusions of the Secretary-General's report that for a whole string of countries in the world, what's characteristic is a transition from an overwhelmingly young population to an overwhelmingly elderly population. Demographic trends on aging are characteristic for Belarus also. Right now, the amount of the elderly over 60 and older in Belarus stands at around 20% of the total population. A lingering relevant problem is overcoming natural population loss and issues of trying to increase the birth rate. So Belarus is taking steps both to ensure social integration of the elderly, improving their health care and family welfare, and also on increasing the birth rate. When it comes to social integration of the elderly, we can note the codification in Belarus of changes prohibiting discrimination on the grounds of age, adapting the pension system to processes of aging, increasing the pension age up to 58 for women and up to 63 for men, the introduction of a mechanism of flexible pensions, developing voluntary training programs and savings programs for old age. The state also consistently implements programs to develop educational, healthcare services, cultural and sporting events with the participation of the elderly. The elderly, old people with difficulties in mobility, communication or everyday life are guaranteed by the state provision of social services, targeted social assistance, sanitary, spa and preventive treatment and healthcare. State support to the family is one of the key areas of state social policy and one of the foundations of demographic security. Support to the family is one of the mechanisms enabling us to maintain the population balance of the age balance of the population. Main state measures and state policy here are focused on developing and strengthening family values, creating balanced, conducive conditions for motherhood and exercise by women of the opportunities in the socio-economic and social political life of our country. A priority for the government is provision of social support to families bringing up children. The country has a functioning, proven system of legal guarantees and benefits for families with children. It includes a payment of a child benefit, free food for children under the age of 2, and provision of other forms of state-targeted assistance. One-off payments for second-borns or higher, guarantees in the pension, labour, tax and housing legislation. We're implementing programs, the goal of which are to improve the status and heighten the role of the father in bringing up children, harmonising marital and children-parental relations, introducing mechanisms of social adaptation for children with difficulties in psychophysical development. State policy has yielded positive results. Life expectancy has grown in recent years, and this trend is reflected in the UNDP report on Human Development 2016. Natural population loss has dropped to the minimum, the birth rate is rising, and mortality is dropping, and this allows us creating conditions for overcoming the trend towards depopulation and leading to natural population growth. In conclusion, we would like to note that Belarus is continuing efforts to enhance state policy for overcoming demographic problems. I thank you.